I run something called Citizens Eye. I'm the editor of Citizens Eye. We started it 4 years ago, and I think it's one of the biggest citizens journalism outfits now, if you like, across the UK. And last November we were named as the first beacon hub of citizens journalism by a new project called Newsnet, part of Media Trust, and Adam Perry here is at the front, and I'll come back to that. Felt a bit weird about that actually. I'm not quite sure about being the best at anything or being a beacon's a bit of a responsibility really. And I think there's lots of people doing better blogs than us, there's lots of people doing better community radio than us, lots of people doing better community TV than us. And I think really it was the fact that we brought it all together and we had quite a lot of community members involved in it. So I suppose it was the way that we were doing it. And that came about really from, suddenly in 2009, the Special Olympics, the third part of the Olympic family, the one that tends to be forgotten about, arrived in Leicester for the second time. And just seeing how the impact of having those athletes, their family, their friends, the sort of 500 odd, 1,500 volunteers that we had, the impact that it had for a week on the city. I've got goosebumps now thinking about it. The whole city was branded orange, you were waving at buses of athletes, it was absolutely fantastic. And we sat down with some of our volunteers and said, well, what are we going to do when the Olympics comes to London? Someone in a suit and tie has won the games in my name, how am I going to choose to participate? And what we realised is we would run a big independent media centre, hopefully the biggest one in the UK, which would be great, and just do things during the 2 weeks of the Olympics and the 2 weeks of the Paralympics. Access for all abilities, using social media and community media to engage with people. And then what happened, it was like, actually, why are we only doing it for the Games and the Olympic Games? Let's look at what the values are, the 7 values, and they're in fact community cohesion. So what we've done is we launched our 2012 project, Community Media Centre 2012, back in January, on the 17th of January, when in 2005 Sebastian Coe challenged all of the regions to stand up and support the London Olympic bid. So we're doing something every month, we're doing a value every month, we're doing a large event, we're doing small events, we're encouraging people to get involved. And we try and do everything that's 2012 related. We've got 20 events over 12 months. We're raising £2,012 for charity. I've got the editor of one of our news agencies growing 20 vegetables over 12 months, all sorts of random stuff. Our young people's group's called the 2012ers. And it's about linking all of those things together with all of the values. And I was lucky to meet Jennifer Jones, who got us involved in the Media 2012 project. And I think a lot of people involved in that suddenly realised that they were focusing only maybe around the Games time, and that you could actually reach out and do lots of other stuff. So it's great to be here representing the East Midlands. With our project, we've suddenly signed up to lots of other things as well. So with Inspire Leicestershire, for example, we don't need an Inspire mark for our 2012 project because we're helping other Inspire marks to promote what they do. Yeah? I don't need the Olympic rings or the Paralympic rings. And get in issues around low cog and things like that, because I've got people like Sainsbury's came to me and said, can we help out with your Paralympics project? So we've got the Paralympics Tier 1 sponsor for that. And off the back of all of that, we got invited to sit on the BBC big screen, get involved in programming stuff. And the next thing we know, the City Council came to us, the local authority, and said, can we make you one of our priority status projects? So here we are, completely independent. We're not funded by any of those statutory organisations, any local authority organisations, and we're actually part of the official Leicester coverage alongside the Torch Relay and the Get Set project in schools and stuff, which is great. Coming up here is reinforce something that we've known for a long time, is that we are as far away from London 2012 in Leicester as you guys are. Okay? At the end of the day, everything's very London-centric. The Cultural Olympiad has been fantastic. We're involved in lots of Cultural Olympiad projects like Stories of the World and things that we're doing, Suits and Saris. We've been involved working in lots of those kind of projects, supporting people. And one of the projects we're particularly involved in is the Somewhere To project, which you'll see a heavy presence of outside, so please come out and talk to us. We're the East Midlands regional coordinators as well, and we've been joined by Rebecca, who's one of the Scotland coordinators as well, about how you could use that project for 16 to 25-year-olds to unlock space for free to help you as an intern or a citizens reporter by covering the relay during the actual period of time. Okay, so come at it from that point of view. The great thing about having Adam here from Newsnet is it's a great online resource that you can register for free and access lots of information. I've already been talking to Callum at the back there, who's involved in a radio station that's looking to go for a 5-year licence, about using those resources. So between resources and training with Newsnet and maybe free space from Somewhere To, you've got an opportunity to link those things together. We were at the Cat Strand yesterday in New Galloway, and looking at that venue and stuff like that. And what you realise, yeah, is that's what it's about. You know, London 2012 is going to be dominated by sport through the mainstream media. But for us, it was looking at those values, excellence, friendship, courage, and things like that, and going out and finding those stories. And that, I think, that's what's really inspiring about becoming a citizens journalist. I know exactly what we are. Yeah, we're a group of volunteers, and this is what we do. We're not the BBC, but we work with BBC Radio Leicester and BBC East Midlands and ITV Central. You know, we're not the local newspaper, but we work with the Leicester Mercury, having a page in there. And to the point, unfortunately, they've had their funding cut for what we do, so we're launching our own newspaper this month and building it up to 2012. Everything is possible, yeah? And we're all about access for all and using social media. And it's not just about having a smartphone, yeah? It's about using a basic mobile phone to send text messages of information. It's about using digital cameras, the cheapest ones that you can possibly find. Yeah? It's about using cheap flip cams and using resources that are available in things like that. And I've been inspired by, I've been here for the last sort of 48 hours really, that, you know, lots of universities are just about buildings, where UWS with its various campuses out in communities, I think, is a great way of it acting as a role model. So I'm really pleased to be here today, and I'd encourage you to find out about Somewhere Too for free space, and also about registering for Newsnet, and come out and find out about what we're about. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, John.